British Army soldiers are closer to getting their hands on one of Europe's most lethal tanks, as the latest Challenger 3 prototype has finished production in Telford. With advanced armor and devastating firepower, the Challenger 3 boasts an impressive range of state-of-the-art technology, making it the most lethal and survivable tank ever operated by the British Army. In a more dangerous world, the need for vehicles such as the Challenger 3 is imperative as the threats facing the UK evolve. This tank will be at the heart of the British Army's warfighting capabilities and will be integral to the UK's deterrence, said Grant Shapps, UK Defence Secretary. The latest of 8 Challenger 3 prototypes rolled off the Rheinmetall BAE Systems Land, or RBSL, factory production line in Telford recently. Defense Secretary Grant Shapps visited the site, where he met the engineers and apprentices who have worked to achieve this crucial milestone in UK armored warfare. The first prototype is already showing its capabilities on trials. All prototypes will be tested under operational conditions to validate their performance and make refinements before another 140 are built and delivered to the British Army. Challenger 3 will be the apex predator of modern warfare. With unmatched cutting-edge firepower, protection, and mobility, it will be ready to dominate the battlefield. The tank can reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour and is armed with a 120mm smoothbore gun with higher muzzle velocity and greater penetration than its predecessor, Challenger 2. Its new modular armor and active protection system, which can detect and destroy rocket and missile attacks in seconds, will make it one of the best protected tanks in Europe. The hard work and dedication on show in Telford and across the country are instrumental in driving forward UK defense innovation and delivering for our forces on the front lines. Providing the Army's main battle tank, the Challenger 3 will remain in service until at least 2040. The Army's Director of Programs, Major General John Swift, OBE, said Challenger 3 will be at the heart of the Army's Armored Brigade combat teams, alongside Ajax and Boxer, and is critical to the Army's warfighting capability and the UK's contribution to NATO. The delivery of these prototype vehicles, the first of which has already started trials, marks a significant milestone on the Army's modernization journey. RBSL Managing Director Will Gibby said, RBSL is playing a key part in delivering the land industrial strategy through its Challenger 3 program, ensuring it benefits from the best British engineering and manufacturing while sustaining valuable skills across the country. Delivery of the first pre-production Challenger 3 and the commencement of trials marks a critical milestone in delivering this impressive capability to the British Army and will provide our soldiers with a world-class main battle tank made here in the UK. Challenger 3 is being delivered under an £800 million contract, creating many highly skilled roles with nearly 300 jobs generated within RBSL, including 130 engineers and 70 technicians, and another 450 jobs across the UK. Meanwhile, following a life expansion project, the existing Challenger 2 is expected to remain in service until 2025. With that year quickly approaching, the MOD announced an £800 million contract with Anglo-German manufacturer Rheinmetall BAE Systems Land to deliver 148 Challenger 3 tanks. These new acquisitions will extend the platform's service date to 2040. The British Army was the first to employ the tank on the battlefield during World War I. Although they arguably fell behind the curve against the German tanks of World War II, British tank technology has returned to top form through the Cold War and into the 21st century. Since 1998, the British Army's main battle tank has been the FV-4034 Challenger 2. On May 7, 2021, the Ministry of Defense announced the upgrade to a new main battle tank. The British military faces significant challenges, with dwindling resources and the British Royal Navy overextending its budget on 2 large aircraft carriers. The British Army's ground forces are at a historic low, relying on aging Challenger 2 tanks, 14 of which have been sent to Ukraine. The UK is considering retiring these tanks for a new main battle tank, or MBT, the Challenger 3, developed by Rheinmetall BAE Systems Land. The Challenger 3, set to replace the Challenger 2 in the mid-2020s, boasts improvements in firepower, armor, mobility, and technology. The overhaul from Challenger 2 to 3 will include several upgrades, including the main gun. Although modern main battle tanks like the American M1 Abrams and the Russian T-90 use smooth-bore guns, the Challenger 2 retained a rifled gun. With the Challenger 3 upgrade, the 120mm rifled gun will be swapped out to a smooth-bore variant. The new gun will be able to accept most globally available ammunition. This will simplify logistics, enable interoperability with allied armies, and offer export opportunities for the new tank. Complementing a tank's gun is its armor. The Challenger 2 utilizes the revolutionary Chobham ceramic armor, a variant of which it also used on the M1 Abrams. With the Challenger 3 upgrade, the tank will receive new modular armor. Although the details of this new armor are highly classified, the MOD is very confident in its protective capabilities. Challenger 3 will lead NATO armored forces with the highest levels of lethality and survivability on today's battlefields and out to 2040, they said in the Challenger 3 announcement. A military restructure announced in March 2021 calls for the British Army to reduce its size to its smallest since 1714. At the time of the announcement, the British Army had 82,040 soldiers and 227 Challenger 2 tanks. By 2025, the British Army is expected to have just 72,500 soldiers and 148 upgraded Challenger 3 tanks. Despite the downsizing, the Army will retain its lethality on the battlefield using drones and new technologies like the Challenger 3. This pioneering new technology allows us to deliver immense warfighting capabilities in battle spaces filled with a range of enemy threats, said UK Secretary of State for Defense at the time, Ben Wallace. Britain aims to address future complex threats with a smaller, more adaptable, and readily deployable army.